Hello, everyone. Welcome to Monday Night Live with Alan and Greg, and our special guest, Sonia, from An Enthusiastic Reader. So,
Hello.
everyone, say hello to Sonia.
Hello.
Right there. All right. Now, Sonia, I'm not
Yes.
sure if you're familiar with our show, but we're not very formal around here.
Okay.
We don't have a whole lot of schedules going on.
Okay.
Whatever sort of happens, just sort of happens.
Just wild.
Wow. The
Yeah.
one thing I like to do though is I like to start off the show with everyone describing a book or books that they've recently read or are currently reading, just to get us off that since this is booktube, you know. So
Excellent.
as the guest, you
Okay.
get to go first.
All right. I just recently read a book that is coming out in August by William Boyd called The Romantic, and it's set in the 1800s. The main character, is born in 1800, and it's his whole life as it takes place across the 1800s, and he does multiple occupations and lives multiple kinds of lives. So you get to see life in Europe and then life in the United States, and then also in South America as he has these opportunities and goes from place to place to place. And he's a romantic. He lives by his heart. He has a woman that he deeply loves that it didn't work out with, and he's always looking for elements of this woman and other women he's with. And it was so good. It was I would highly recommend it if you like. It's kind of an old-fashioned novel, basically, but it was so well written, and the character felt so well drawn, and so it was great.
Now that name
William
rings
Boyd.
a bell. William Boyd. Has he
Yes.
written some famous, or what is his most famous books?
Any Human Heart
Okay.
was a book that he wrote in the 90s, I think, or early 2000s when it came out. And it was also another book that was a whole life of a character. He also has written a lot of like James Bond type mysteries and adventure stories and spy stories too. So he's written across genres.
Yeah, I sort of was saying, like, I thought he wrote some sort of mystery crime novel.
Yeah.
Someone talked about. So okay.
Yeah.
That's probably where I heard that name before.
Probably.
Now you said this is coming out in
August.
So this is an advanced reader's copy.
Yes, and
Cool.
it should be coming out very soon. So it was really good.
William Boyd.
Oh.
Okay, cool.
Okay, Alan, what about you?
Oh, well, I've been reading a lot of stuff. I'm in the process of uploading a video now on my Carlos Castaneda series.
Oh,
I
yeah.
finished another one. Yeah, have you read him, Sonya? Did I ask you?
You asked me, but
Or do
no,
you know
I've
him?
never. I'm aware of
Oh.
him, but I have never read him.
Yes, I've been aware
Yeah, I
of
mean,
teachings of what,
yeah,
Don
no, I'm
Juan?
not going to. Yeah, right. That was the first one, Teachings of Don Juan, and the Quiet Way of Knowledge, and then A Separate Reality. And this is Journey to Ixtlan, his third one in the like trilogy there. But then he wrote a lot of other ones. So the one I finished was audio called This Side of Infinity, about like death. It was the last book he wrote. But in my little deep dive, I've been discovering some scandals about him. And I think I remember Joyce Carol Oates saying about, like in others too, his anthropologist teachers, and that he was like a undergrad then a grad student at UCLA, about him making it up. Joyce Carol Oates said it shouldn't even be called nonfiction. And there's other articles like from 2007. He died in 98 in California. He was an American, but like sex scandals, and even after his death, like 4 female grad students who were his students committed suicide, and like some kind of death right thing. It's kind of weird. So,
Jeez.
Yeah, no, I didn't know that. But
I'd heard about his the scandals that it was stretchers. He told like not quite getting down to the truth and making some
right,
stuff
but
up.
I mean, I find it hard to believe that he made it entirely up. It's because it correlates with other things like a lot. A lot of the techniques they use are old, like Native American, and even some Carl Jung, like the shadow self, is where he talks about having like different self.
Yeah.
Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde to the extreme, but I mean, even a lot under that. So I've been going into that, and I've also been deep diving into J.D. Solinger. Reading a
Nice.
non-fiction book on my Kindle. I don't even know what it's titled, but it's pretty good so far. It's called J.D. Solinger: A Life, and I've read biographies on him. And In Search of J.D. Solinger, I read that book, and because Bad and I are going to buddy read Catcher in the Rye sometime, maybe September. And that's a book that Greg has not read.
Really?
Catcher in the Rye. I feel like I've aged
Read
out.
that? It's not that he's not read it. He refuses to.
There's always some books like that where you feel like it's passed you by, like your opportunity's over.
Like the time to read it when I was young and impressionable, and
Right.
now I'm kind of old and cynical. I've always been cynical, but now I'm just old, and who knows?
Yeah, but I wouldn't call you a phony. You're not one of like Holden's phonies. I don't think. But
Yeah.
my book like that is Moby Dick. I refuse to read Moby Dick because being a friend Lou Morrison in grad school, he was a big Hawthorne fanatic, and I was Joycean, and I just never read it.
I've read that a few times, and there's going to be, I think there's going to be another group read of Moby Dick next year. I got a box.
I'll join in on that.
And they're talking, looking for guest hosts for Moby Dick. And I didn't.
Yeah, didn't Steve Donahue do one last year too?
I volunteered for a different book. I'm not going to mention what it is yet because it's not public, but someone's looking to do Moby Dick, and I might join in on Moby Dick. All right. Before I tell you about my book, I want to go through some of our comments.
I'm still reading up the books.
The Almighty Own. Oh, yeah, more books. Okay.
Yeah. Did I say I was done yet?
No, you didn't.
No, I did not. Another book. Oh, yeah, Greg, you did read this, right? Or you haven't read this either yet? You read the first two?
I read that series when I was in high school. So do not ask me to be anything of my memory other than, yeah, I remember reading it and liking it. And I read the first book last year, and I was going to read the other ones, but you know how sometimes you just pick up a book and say, no, not today. And that's what happened.
Yeah, I've been doing this on Audible, so I use my ear goggles and I use my eye goggles too. And then finally, for our 1984 group, I got these two cool graphic novels from the library.
Wow.
That's neat.
So I'm going through this one. Trip.
That's cool.
Yeah, they're kind of like adult too. But they have he uses a color red in it, like just black, white, and red.
Oh yeah.
So
interesting.
I'm not a huge graphic novel fan, but I mean I'm not a hater. I like them. I've got some down here. But that's about it.
Cool. All right. And Alexis is here.
Hello.
Alexis saying you should give a few minutes of intro to allow people to pop in before you start on the main stuff. Yeah, I could probably be a little more chatty.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not always super chatty. Zach.
Yeah, she's got a good point there.
Alexis, And when you're saying hi to everyone, I'm probably not going to.
Hello.
That's read by Fred.
Hi, Fred.
Hey, Greg.
Excuse me.
Alexis, spastic typing accident. I read Catcher in the Rye when young, listened to the audiobook this year, and it was still good read. All right, Al. Maybe I'll think about it if they do
Yeah,
it.
if you want to join us, Greg, Bad and I in September. I mean, it's an easy read.
Depending, I mean,
I'd like to
September
see your opinion.
we've got that big book by McElroy,
Shadowrun.
and I've got
Shadowrun.
American Psycho and a few other things going on. We'll see. Williams
Did you
Library.
mention Shadowrun?
I don't think we're going to get to Shadowram. I don't think we're going to get to Shadowram.
Okay.
From Indonesia. My first was comment to Alan, his Floyd lyric. What's that book? Your camera is blurry, Alan. Oh, he was talking about Sword in the Citadel.
Yeah.
Is that a fantasy? Is that fantasy or what is that?
That's science fiction, but
Okay.
it's sort of like fantasy because it's set so far in the future that society has sort of reverted back to.
Okay.
But there are like huge spaceships still around that they're using as castles.
Oh,
But you don't know that because the narrator doesn't know it.
right. Oh, interesting.
So you have to pick up what the narrator is saying. Something's going on.
Sorry, someone said my phone was blurry, so but I'm sorry, Greg.
Fred just finished reading 1984. Yeah, I finished that last month. And we have the group going, and I got to start making comments now that people are starting to finish it.
Yeah, I saw your video, Fred. I saw half of it. I want to watch the rest of it before I comment.
It's on the queue. And Sonya, I was the second person here, but I still missed your book.
Okay.
Or do you have done with them yet?
Oh, Alexis, I was talking about a book that it was an advanced review copy that's coming out in August called The Romantic by William Boyd. And it is kind of an old-fashioned novel that is the story of one character's life throughout the 1800s. And he is a soldier and a farmer and a diplomat and an explorer. So each segment of the novel talks about these different occupations he had and the loves that he had along the way and his strange origin story that kind of haunts him all the way through his life. But there's a lot of really funny parts and then also some kind of sadder parts. So there's like a gamut of emotion, and it was just a really satisfying read.
Cool. So say hello to Elizabeth at Bookings and Books.
Hi, Elizabeth.
Oh, hey, Elizabeth.
Alan, what the blup? Chris Beveridge, Alan is slowly decomposing. Franny and Zoe is Salinger's triumph. Now
I like that book too.
I've only read Seymour and Introduction.
And that's the one I have not read.
Yeah, that was a class on the modern novel at university. And I don't know why he picked
Yeah, I
that
know
one.
who Seymour Glass is. You know, he's in A Perfect Day for Banana Figs.
Yes.
And the 9 Stories. But in Franny and Zoe, my favorite character is Buddy Glass, and I've mentioned this to Greg. He's a little, I think he's 14 years old, and he's like smoking a cigar in the bathtub while Franny is talking to him. His sister's talking to him. He's taking a bath, and he's putting a cigar like on the ledge. And why I remember that scene, I don't know. But just weird. Salinger.
Here's Zach. Greg, I lived in Alexandria for elementary school. It was a great place to live at the time. Yeah, you know, I grew up in Maryland, so I knew, you know, all about Alexandria all growing up. And it's just so different from when I was growing up. It was like I lived over the Maryland line. And at the time, Virginia was considered to be the place for rednecks. You crossed over the line, and
Still is.
especially down where I live, down near in Fredericksburg. All right, let me get through these real quick because I want to show you what I read this week. William finished Brave New World. Thought it was overrated. I read it before I liked it, but it's been many, many years.
Mm-hmm.
I just remember Soma, the drug Soma, S-O-M-A, they always were taking.
I remember.
I'd like to read that again.
Centrifugal Bumble Puppy. that is the sport that people play. And as I remember it, Centrifugal Bumble Puppy, you need uniforms, you need special equipment, and you need to be taken out to the country to play it. And at the time, I was listening to a college professor discuss it, and he goes, that sounds like skiing. And the college I was in at the time was a skiing college where every student came there to ski. So he was just deliberately sort of insulting them. Al says Doors of Perception is his opus. Chris?
Oh, yeah.
Mother talking to him. That's still weird to talk to any kind of sibling when you're in the math, or mother or parent.
Yeah.
Recent bio of Salinger out. This is why I listened to Catcher. You hate to admit it, but spent the last 2 days reading trash romance novels, getting ahead of Garbagast, I guess.
Yeah, great. Brave
New World is from The Tempest by Shakespeare. Okay.
It's my favorite comedy by him.
I spent a whole week reading this book. For some reason, it's a long book. It is 540 pages long. It is small print. I picked this up for BookTube at War, for the American participation in World War II. I picked this up because I thought it was going to be an easy book. I thought it was going to be an action adventure thriller that you'd read 150 pages a day and just fly through it. I was mistaken.
Huh. This is small print, huh?
This is a work of literature. Even though the subject is gathering 12 convicts sentenced to death for murder, rape, robbery, that kind of thing. And they say, you can join this special force for this special training. You're going to go in for a special mission, or you get executed.
Oh, geez.
And you think all these people are going to go out and have this big adventure, but no, it's all about character. It's about the man who's training them, who is Jewish, who's not really letting people know that he's Jewish. And then you have an African American who killed someone. He's like the really smart one of the group, and he was a lieutenant and college educated. And I was thinking, that's really kind of an interesting character development for a story set in World War II.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like he does this character really very well, especially getting him provoked to committing a murder. Because he's a black man in a place where there's not many black men, and he gets insulted by civilians and lower level military people. And he finally did this one scene where, again, he's being racially insulted by members of the military who are of a lesser rank than he is. And he walks away from it with because the MPs come up and they sort of diffuse the situation. But it just dials him. And then one day he sees one of the guys who insulted him. He goes, "No, I'm going to kill you." So then
it's a good movie.
So you go through a lot of characters. You have a Native American who doesn't really speak English very well. He speaks his native Ute language. But these characters are very well done. And you spend 500 pages learning about the characters and their training.
Wow. When was this written?
1965.
Oh, wow. So
it's a good movie. It's a classic movie.
Hold on, Alan. Don't talk about the movie yet.
I thought I don't really remember it.
So
Ugh.
then I picked up the paperback, and it's hard. It's hard on the eye to small.
Yeah, I bet.
So I got the ebook version, and the ebook version was published many years after this book had gone out of print.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things the author was saying is that it's the most stolen book out of public libraries.
Really?
What he claimed it was the most stolen book out of public libraries.
Mm.
You know, let the author have some sort of pride and maybe a little bit of stretching truth. But it was out of print, and the ebook revolution was coming by. I said, you know something? I own the rights to the book. I'm just going to publish as an ebook. And he did. And he tells a story is that before he started writing this, he talked to a filmmaker who was in World War II in England at the time. Now, this is set in, what's the exact date? February of 44. So you know what happens in June, right? So he talked to a filmmaker who was in England at the time. And apparently there was a secret operation with convicts. And he was going to write this as nonfiction. But he could not get anyone to verify the story. And he said, is this just a legend about World War II of 12 convicts that were sent on a special mission? Or were there ever anyone? Well, that's it. He could not find the evidence, so he just wrote it as a novel. But apparently,
I have a question, Greg. Like, how do you know the backstory of all this? Did you see an interview or?
It's published in the end of the ebook version.
Oh, okay.
Because
cool.
It's been out of print for a number of years. This is his justification for republishing it as an ebook.
I see.
But it's surprising because I thought I was getting an action book,
right?
And I got real literature. But the thing is, it's actually good literature. I mean, it really gets you into World War II. So very good for BookTube at war.
Yeah.
Wow, cool. Yeah, I don't remember the movie. I think like those old, like Charles Bronson was in it, and like man, those old rugged actors.
Like Lee Marvin. Was Lee Marvin?
Exactly. Yeah.
I think the movie focused. I haven't seen it. Probably focused on the last few pages a lot more than the book did, to show their actual mission.
Right.
To do their deed just before the invasion of D-Day.
Hey, have you ever read the book Bridge Over River Kwai? Or I think that might have been. Was that written as a screenplay by William Goldman?
No, that was a French novel. Originally a French.
That's a great war movie.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's catch up with some comments.
Comments, shall we?
Yes. All right. I'll hate to admit it, but spent the last 2 days reading. No, I already read that one. I'm afraid, Brave New World. I lived in Southern Maryland from middle school to 9th grade. Alexandria was for the DC workers. Yep. I love the movie. Never read the book. I guess she's talking about the Dirty Dozen. Is that what took you back to Virginia? My wife wanted to move, and happy wife, happy life. You know. I think I've read all of Salinger. Very good stuff. Bad as Rabbit 2 is here. Hello.
You said that comment about the Salinger.
No, Zach was
going. You said the comment about the Salinger.
Yeah, I think I've read all of Salinger. Very good stuff.
Okay, yeah. Zap. Okay, Zap. Well, if you want to.
So here is read by Fred. The Dirty Dozen is small print. How are each of you managing books like this as you get older? Are you moving towards?
Yeah, no, I'm blind as a bat.
And moving the book further away or other?
E-readers.
Yeah.
I got these.
Yeah.
I got this. I got the Kindle. I mean, the Kindle Scribe. Okay, it's overpriced, but it is just the best e-reader.
Oh, wow. I've never seen one.
It's huge.
Yeah, MJ reads about hers too.
Yeah, it's huge.
MJ does.
Yeah, because I have these reading. I mean, I passed my driver's license exam without needing glasses, but when I read small print, it's just getting harder and harder to do.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I need to get better reading glasses.
Yeah,
Which is
I'm due to get new glasses
I have
myself.
so many books. Not bad. It's saying hi.
Hi there.
Yeah,
Bookings and books. I saw the movie Dirty Dozen. Not my favorite World War II movie, but I like it. Now I'm very intrigued by the book. It's good. I said I took a week to read this. It normally would not take me a week. I had other issues going on, just getting slow, and I spent a whole week visiting, going on day trips. I got no reading done, so it took me a little bit longer than usual, but it's recommended. Bad. Hi, William. Just received the book Hub by Matt Shaw. Another disturbing book, like Og.
Oh yeah.
Wasn't Frank Sinatra in the Dirty Dozen? That's not a question. I know. I might have seen the movie growing up, but it's made no impression on me. Make a video with sexual reactions. It'll be all right. I bet it's based on the Devil's Brigade. They were misfits, so likely look like brass of the criminal elements. That was not mentioned in the authors afterwards, so it could be though. All right. Oh, I got plans. I'm making a crazy video, and I'll mention the famous line. I think they're talking about this very disturbing book that I have not read.
Oh,
very nice.
Yeah, I haven't read Hog either. It's very disturbing.
Bridge Over the River Kwai. I remember the whistling scene from that movie. That Alan mentioned that. That's written by a Frenchman who's more famously known for writing The Planet of the Apes, original novel.
Oh.
And actually, The Planet of the Apes is actually a pretty good short little book. It's like 120 pages, 140 pages, and has a very different ending from the movies.
Oh yeah.
It actually has a double twist ending.
Wow.
It's an interesting book. The story is you have astronauts going out into space, and they have rockets. Yeah, it was written in the 50s, so rockets is just acceptable. 50s, and they come across this capsule floating in space, and they capture the capsule, and the capsule is a written document. And then they start reading the document, and that's the bulk of the book, Planet of the Apes. And the book has a twist ending. But then when you get back to the astronauts, there's another twist. So it's good.
Wow. But they cut that all out from the movie.
Well, I'll say you could not do the double twist in the movie.
Okay.
It's physically impossible to do. But
wow.
It's something. It's available in libraries on Kindle. Might be Kindle Unlimited. I don't know if it's on Kindle, but it's 140 pages. It's like, pick it up and read it.
Yeah, it's intriguing now.
Buddy, reading that awesome book with my buddy Alan. Yep. I will need help. Devil Girl from Mars is a truly great film. I don't know that one. Saying hi. Everyone bought a magnifying glass. The struggle is
this struggle is real.
Yeah,
no kidding. I've got bifocals. That's why I do that.
Oldies are feeling it. That e-reader. I just got a new prescription today. I did have a Kindle with over 1,000 bucks. I think you probably mean books on it, but that account was hacked.
Oh no!
And I lost all the books, and Amazon would not give them back. Now that is not right. That is really not right.
No.
Yeah.
I mean,
I lost a lot on Audible once. I lost like over $150 worth of stuff on Audible, forgot my password.
Now, forgetting your password is different because they've been trained no matter how smartly you talk and sweet talk them, you cannot undo a password. You cannot give out the password.
Right.
But if it was hacked, I don't know the situation, but that just seems wrong to me.
Yeah, that's not good. That's terrible.
I read better the smaller the print.
Oh, wow. That won't last. Yeah.
How old are you? Are you young? Are you a youngin? Books, not bucks. Is it a me or does Monday suck? Wish it was Friday because that's my fun day. Bad. You don't have a job. I'm pretty sure you don't have a job, unless it's to do with your husband's job, moaning and groaning, going back to work on Mondays. Because my wife still works, and I have to listen to her moan and groan about Monday. At least for another 44 months. 44 months until she gets to retire.
Counting off the months. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we've been threatening you do a Friday live on Faulkner. Hashtag Faulkner Fridays at MJ's idea. Maybe I don't know. I mean, I'm open.
I'm open,
I
but
never get bored. But
getting people together for Faulkner is going to have a stick and poke them.
True.
I mean, we're doing Faulkner in August, but how many people do you have Faulkner in August? 10?
What, on the group?
On the group.
Oh, I think we have 10.
Yeah, maybe 10.
But yeah.
Oh, no, Sinatra was in another great World War II movie. Did he do The Manchurian Candidate?
Yes.
Yeah, I think he did.
Yeah,
I have some info on the Dirty Dozen real briefly that somebody was asking about. Sinatra walked off the set, so apparently he was supposed to be in it, but he walked off the set 1967.
Oh. Huh.
So there you go.
None But the Brave, Sinatra. I don't know that one.
I don't either.
For Sonya, Fred's got a question for you.
Okay.
He always comes up with good questions.
Yeah, Fred, I have so many different kinds of books. I got the original Kindle. So I've had a Kindle since they came out, like 2006, I think.
2008.
2008. Okay. And I have a lot of books that I've accumulated over the years. So I do have some classics. I have a lot of contemporary novels that I will pick up, mostly through like when they have those $1.99 deals. Sometimes I will pay full price if I think I really am interested in want to read it again, or if I can't get it through the library. So I just keep accumulating books. And I even did a whole video about, I started a spreadsheet of all my unread Kindle books.
Oh, wow.
I have a huge, I have the same sale problem. Because
Yes.
what I do is I have a private Amazon wish list.
Uh-huh.
And when I see a Kindle book I add to wish list. Then every day or every other day, I sort by price.
Oh, wow. That's smart. I'm not that organized, but
I look at it and go, ooh, that's $1.99 a day buy. I may never get to it, but at $1.99.
I know, it's like a cup of coffee or something, it seems
Less
worth
than
it. It's literature, so.
Hey, Sonya.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry to interrupt you, but
okay.
This is a Kindle Fire.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
Do you have one like that?
No, I have the Kindle Paperwhite, and I like that.
Because this is my new one, but I still have this old one.
Yeah.
Greg laughs at it.
I just have the smaller one because I like the backlit lighting. It's so soft, and I can read it at night in the dark. And
right.
Yeah.
Yep. Mine's by my bed all the time.
Yep.
So Sonya, you said you had the original Kindle, the one with the scroll wheel.
Yes.
I used to have that one too, and I lent it to my mother-in-law, and she did something with it.
Oh.
She passed away years ago, and who knows? It was in a box somewhere, and
yeah. Well, and they,
it's not going to work anymore.
No, it's not going to work, and they weren't that great, the first ones. I mean, they got better and better, so I feel fine about it. And I still buy print books too because I like having them, but they're not easy for me to read now. So I just pretty much stick to electronic or audio.
Yeah, I'm the same way. There was a young booktuber, Grix, etc., that I'm reading the Foundation series with. And he mentioned that talking about he's helping Sean D. Steadfast move all his books.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
This is really kind of hard.
Yes.
Is it worth it to have these many physical books? And I'm responding to it, it's like, at this point in my life, if there's like a new work of fiction, I'm not going to buy in a physical copy. I'm going to buy the ebook copy or the audiobook copy, unless it's a really special book by a special author.
Right.
I'm just not going to touch the new printed books.
Yeah. Because you will have to get rid of them someday. So, or somebody will, and
Someone will.
It's going to be a lot. So.
If I pass away after my wife, someone will eventually come in and explore my basement and see all these books and maybe.
I was kind of thinking about that, Greg, because I won't tell everyone what we were talking about privately, but because it's kind of woo-woo stuff, but totally off topic. But I was thinking about that subject, and I was thinking about my own books too, because like who to leave them to, but I mean, I might leave them to you, Greg, or Brian. But then I was thinking, what would Greg do? Because you don't have any kids or anything, or
no, and your books are in Portland.
What? Yeah, they will be by this weekend.
It was really expensive to move all these books from Washington State to Virginia.
Yes,
it took up a third of the truck. A whole big moving truck. And it's like, I find it harder and harder to justify, especially after moving.
Yep.
Yeah, but I've had a lot of books too, and I've lost them. But even in my dad was telling me, son, I've been doing this since like 1982. He's been hauling my books back and forth to like Kent State and then Arizona, and now this. It's crazy. He's still hauling my books around. But yeah, that's a good point, Greg, and a good idea. But there's something about having physical books.
There is. I mean, my library is very unique. Now, honestly, when I think about this, if I knew I had a terminal disease or something, and I'd probably put a video up and say, something, come and get my books, because I would, it's not going to be a financial thing that my state's going to need the price of selling my books.
No.
And I would like it just if people, it's like, okay, I'll come grab his books and go to a good home,
Yeah, wow, that'd be a hell of a party, wouldn't it? All your BookTube friends come and have a party and then split up your books.
Yeah.
Boy, I think that's my next short story.
That's a good one. That would be
good. It writes itself. Writes itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chris, now I know what an invisible wall looks like.
What does that mean?
Chris is going to have to explain that.
I think he might be talking about Sean again. His wall of boxes. I don't know.
He could be. Bad as rad. Love that quote from the Bengals song. There's a couple things about the Bengals coming. I got a comment. That's my jam, Fred. The Bengals,
I like the Bengals.
Are bad. Bad? Did you know that the lead singer or songwriter from the Bengals, Susanna Hoff, has just published her first novel?
I knew that.
It's mentioned in our Garbagus chat by books by famous people.
Right.
We don't know. I mean, I don't know if it's going to be a good book, but she's a famous person. So
she is.
I mean,
yeah,
at least I think
she was on.
She wrote it herself. Or
she was on CBS Sunday Morning. I saw her little story about her. So yeah, I thought that was cool.
Yeah, and
I think she's a real writer too.
I mean, I guess she wrote her own songs, which I guess for some rock band, I know if it's rock bands, like some singers don't write their own song.
Right.
Well, Prince wrote Manic Monday for him, but other than that, I guess they might have. I like the Bengals. They have that song "In My Room," I remember, and then "Walk Like an Egyptian."
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. That's
The Bengals are the
congratulating Fred on finishing 1984. Well, hello, Brian.
Hey, Brian.
Say sorry you're late. You know, you're not really late. This is like an open pub.
It's an
They
open
say,
You're
house,
always
right?
kind of fashionably late, Brian, aren't you?
until X and just come in and have a chat. And when you leave, you leave. You know.
I knew Brian was coming. I put on my sport coat. No, actually, I'm wearing my coat for Sonya.
Well, thank you.
Here's that. I early retired at 55. I highly recommend it if you're able to do it. Well, I did it at 57,
nice.
you know, and it's all real estate, buying and selling real estate. Because I moved from Washington State, and the price of the homes from when we bought it and sold it just skyrocketed. And
Right.
we came to Virginia and said, you know, we're just going to pay cash for this house. And then the second job was like, do you really want to put yourself through that just for some extra cash in the bank? Of course, I was a computer programmer, so it's actually more than a little extra cash. But, you know, but Zach, congratulations on that early retirement. My question for you is, do you find that you get less things done now that you're retired?
Yeah, it's a paradox.
It's working. Because I said this
More
before.
time you have.
I wake up in the morning, I've got all day to do this. No worry.
Tell me
And
about
at
it.
the end of the day, wasn't I supposed to do something today?
You have to start making a list.
Whew. It's getting a little warm in here.
Yeah, Sinatra was a Manchurian candidate. We mentioned that one. Manchurian candidate was the Korean conflict. You might be right about that one. William, has everyone recorded their Happy Garbagus clip? Yes. I've seen Greg's on Ollie's page. I haven't uploaded mine. Well, obviously, if he's doing the upload, you've seen mine. You're not doing a Happy Garbagus, are you, Alan?
Me, I'm reading two books. Somebody reading that Jackie Collins, Chances with Nettie. And then I'm reading this that Dad sent me that I read like in junior high school 100 years ago. So I'm reading two books for Garbagus.
But you're gonna upload a 3-second clip of Happy Garbagus? What about you, Sonia?
Yeah.
I have not figured out if I'm doing that or not. So
Okay. You're
yeah,
not going to participate in Garbagus?
probably not.
Okay.
Most likely. I just have a bunch of other obligations that month. So, but I do like watching the videos. I think it's fun to see what everyone's reading.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the shorts that Dad does, and Nettie has been doing those shorts.
Yeah.
Some outrageous book covers.
I have
crazy.
my Garbagus Truth or Dare tag coming up tomorrow morning, where I read a passage from a book.
Oh wow!
I hope book 2 doesn't, because it's really kind of. I mean, it's really smutty.
Oh wow! I'll have to check that out.
Oh God!
Chris.
Well, I wonder if you'll gain or lose subscribers over it.
I don't know. You know, the gaining of losing subscribers on videos is really sort of interesting. I did a huge video a couple days ago reading a book published every year that I was born. There's 60 books. And it's gotten a whole lot of, it's gotten more views than I normally get. But I've also got someone unsubscribing from that video. And I'm going, what made that person unsubscribe?
Yeah.
Maybe because I said this was a good book published in this year, and someone said they really hate that author.
Yeah, but that's a bad reason to unsubscribe. You know, just don't agree.
Yeah.
I know.
Well, somebody was talking shit about Joyce. I might unsubscribe. Like, how dare you?
But I wasn't. I was just saying that
Okay.
this was a good book published in that year.
Yeah.
I mean, who knows?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can't figure it out.
One of the things is that someone mentioned that happens is like if you have a whole big subscriber feed and you got lots and lots of videos from people that you no longer watch. Like I subscribed to him a year ago and haven't watched a video.
Mm-hmm.
Here's this video,
Oh.
60 books in 60 years. You know, I haven't watched it, don't want to watch it, unsubscribe.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Now that one I can understand because you just like don't bother watching. You're not watching anymore.
Right.
But the thing is, I always think about it like, what did I say?
Yeah.
To make them unsubscribe.
People are so fickle. You just can't read them. You can't ever second guess.
No.
You know?
You just got to do what you like yourself, like Willie Nelson, or not Willie, but Ricky Nelson, that Garden Party song.
Oh, yes.
Can't please everyone. You have to please yourself.
Right.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
But
That's
it's
what makes.
interesting to think about.
So Chris,
Like I put up a guitar video, and well, okay, this weekend I gained like 4 subscribers, and then I lost 1 today. So I don't know if it was a guitar video or what. So I just can't even.
No.
Not my job to know, I guess.
Right. Not worth the time to think about it.
yeah.
No.
Chris, for some minutes, she fell into a deep, dreamless sleep. She just lay quiet, smiling at the ceiling. A quote from something. Not me yet, William. I got the lazy William, but I need to get it done for Ollie. Happy, joy, Garbogust. Oh, Bad's going to do a happy Garbogust. You have until like July 25th, I think, to get it done. So you got time.
You just want a short. You're supposed to do like a real short one, just waving high but
all you're supposed to do is say happy Garbogust. You can be silly about it. I hold my toilet plunger because every Garbogust video I do, I start out holding my toilet plunger. You know, just as
yeah,
the scepter of trash.
yeah. MJ really has some funny videos too, like that when she was in a dumpster. Even what the hell. And then Bads are great.
They are. Is it the 15-second one? All right. Read by Fred. I love that I have a large library of ebooks. It takes up only 4 to 6 inches and weighs 180 grams. An entire library I can take with me anywhere.
Yes.
Absolutely. I mean, I've got from Amazon over since 2008, about 2,000 books, which is, I have a problem. I have a problem buying books. Yeah, and Sonya, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
I do. And also the cool thing about the Kindle is that if you have your phone and you don't have your Kindle, it just syncs and you can read on your phone.
Right.
I mean, it's just so
really
portable.
Convenient.
Very.
It is. And they've gotten so good. I mean, like you said, before Kindle, I had this thing called a PDA, Microsoft.
Oh, yeah.
PDA.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a Microsoft Reader, was the big ebook reader at the time.
Right.
And, it was a little bit better than just plain text on a computer screen.
Was that with PDFs, though? I can't remember.
We could do PDFs, but PDFs did not format well.
Right.
Because the old ones, their screen was smaller than this.
Yeah.
It was like half of that.
Right.
You would have to have a really tiny, or scroll up and down the page, and then swipe for the next page.
Yeah, not convenient.
But no, these were true ebooks where you could format it, and like the Kindle, it would change to the dimension of the screen.
Yeah.
So those are pretty. We're not great, but when
I'm just getting more tea. I'm getting more tea.
Go ahead. So when the original Kindle came out on the e-ink, I just loved it.
Yeah.
I used to buy the new version for like 3 years in a row. Buy. And it's like, okay, it's getting expensive. And then I
Right.
started like skipping models, and now I'm just waiting until there's something new, or like my Kindle Oasis, the battery was running out.
Hmm.
Like you have a full charge, and you read for a couple hours, and then you're down like 50%.
Yeah. Right.
So this is kind of interesting on this Kindle Scribe. I'm gonna, because I don't know how many people have them, but I'll pull this out because you can actually take notes on this one.
Yeah, that's what I heard. I have never seen one though.
This is a note feature. So what I did is I started taking notes whenever I charged my Kindle.
Mm.
So the first date I charged it was 3/18 at 11 p.m., 10% battery charge, and charge full by morning. And I've counted it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've charged this 14 times since March.
Oh wow, that's
And
pretty.
I read it a couple hours every week,
Mm-hmm.
at least. So it's really holding
really
it back.
amazing.
Nice.
I mean, if I go on vacation and forget my charger, I really don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, but so can you, in the text of the book itself, take notes or
No,
annotate, or no?
you can put basically sticky notes.
Okay.
A lot of people complain that they really want to write on the book itself.
Right. It's just like, get the book then, and then you can write in the margin.
Yeah, it's not quite the same.
Right.
I can understand. I mean, I can sort of envision why they technically have trouble doing that.
Yeah. Right. Because if you change the font size, I don't know, there could be a lot of technical things, right?
Right. And you want it flawless for users.
Right.
For what they do with the Post-it notes, you just tap it one spot, and you put the Post-it note, and that Post-it note will stick with it in the same place.
Right.
No matter what
like
size font you use.
It's anchored to the text, right?
It's anchored to the text at that spot.
Right.
Now the good and bad thing is that it's actually very good at reproducing your handwriting.
Nice. Huh.
The only problem is my handwriting is illegible.
Yeah, I don't have good handwriting either.
So I said, I can't read this. Of course, I couldn't read it if I wrote it on a real book anyway. So
Right.
But the most interesting thing is that they have like what's that called? The type of font, calligraphy font.
Mm-hmm.
And when I put it in calligraphy font, it actually becomes more legible.
Right.
And that's because they have some sort of interpretation to turn it into calligraphy. So it's in making it more legible by turning it into calligraphy.
Yeah, that makes sense because the fonts are designed to be smooth, smooth
Right.
on the edges. And when you're just writing, it's not going to be smooth like that.
No, it just puts down exactly what you put in. So if you have legible, good handwriting, it's probably a very good device for taking notes.
Yeah.
William, my clip is 10 seconds unless a glitch took it down. Chris, the mind is its own place and in itself can make a heaven or hell, a hell of heaven. John Milton.
Yeah.
I tried to read Paradise Lost with Alan earlier this year. My problem with that is that there are so many outdated references to Milton's time, because he was talking about the current state of the English government,
Right.
when he was writing his poetry. He's also talking about biblical references. And I've read pieces of the Bible here and there, but I've never studied it. So I have to get historical references.
The archangels.
And get the
right.
biblical references.
I love
and it's gibberish.
It's homework. Yeah, that's a lot of homework.
It's study, and I didn't want to study.
I love it. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think Sean liked it that much either. I think he's read it. I can't remember, but I've read it a few times. I really like it. I'm not done reading it. Huh. It's like Dante, but I have pretty good notes on it. I think I think I've read this 3 times. Yeah, 3 times. But read it again.
Here's Zach. What was it like shipping your entire library across the continent?
A breeze.
The first thing you gotta do is buy a whole bunch of boxes.
Yeah.
And then because I'm still working, when you get off work, you spend an hour or two starting a month before I was moving, boxing up all your books. And then hauling those boxes down to the garage. And then when it's all done, all these IKEA bookshelves I took with me, but they take up too much space in the truck. So I had to disassemble all my bookshelves.
Oh, no. Oh, God.
And, you put all your tools, like little sandwich baggies, and go, these are all the pieces to go to this bookshelf, and put some masking tape. Bookshelf A, tool bag A.
God.
Oh, God.
And then you have to load it all into the truck. Well, we actually hired movers to physically load the truck. And we purchased one of those huge moving trucks. And what they did is they drop off the truck bed in front of your house a day or two before you actually move. And then the loaders load it up. And all of my books and bookshelves took 1/3 of the truck. I had 54 boxes of books.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
I thought it was only 52.
Not even 52. I don't know. But at the end, the truck was totally full, and our house still had stuff that was not. And we had purchased a second truck to come in because we knew it was going to be too big. And the second truck never showed up.
Oh.
So we had to have this emergency giveaway of stuff the night before we were leaving.
Wow, I didn't know that.
It said, "You want some bicycles?"
Oh.
So we had 2 bicycles, and I kind of wish we kept the bicycles, but the truck was totally full. So it's an amazing pain to move an entire library across the continent.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd do it again, honestly. But then again, how do I pick which book to get rid of?
Yeah.
Bad. I don't think the strip club will let me record my 15-second video for Garbagus. Uh-oh.
Oh, she wants to do it like live at a live from the joint. Bad.
I don't know. Here's a question for you from Fred. Sonya, how many physical books do you think you have? Are they in a library like Greg, or spread out through your home?
I have 2 walls of I have all these books back here. Let me hold on. So you probably can't see it very well, but I have this whole.
Oh, wow, nice.
And this is just these are like nonfiction design books, and then just some decorated like old books. And then in the loft, just on the other side of this wall, I have a floor to ceiling bookshelf. So it's the whole wall. So I have.
You should do a tour.
Maybe 1,000 books or so.
Yeah, you should do a tour, Sonya.
You want to see it?
Well, yeah, sure, if you want to.
All right.
And then do the curio tag too. I bet you have a lot of cool curios around. Oh, wow, nice. Oh, wow.
Look at
there
that.
You go. Yeah, that's a nice little stack, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
It's nice, Sonya. Who knew? Yeah, you should do a tour. You should do a video tour, like library tour.
Oh, you're mute. Sonya, you're mute.
Sorry
There you
about that.
go. No problem.
I've never used this platform before, so
Yeah. Yeah, that was neat, Sonya.
thanks. Yeah.
I'd like to see like you do a video of the library tour.
All right.
Yeah. Well, I'm kind of unique because when we bought this house, my wife said the basement's mine. You just take the basement; it's entirely yours.
Yeah, that's my husband. He's got the basement and he's got all of his books. And so when we had our flood situation in May, we had to carry all those books upstairs. And we just got them all back downstairs this weekend. So it was.
Did the books survive the flood?
Yeah, the books did.
That's good.
Yeah, the waters didn't really get that high. It just soaked the carpet, completely drenched everything. And so
mildew.
Yeah, there was a little bit of mildew, but we had this like company that came in and there were like 15 fans and they just blew it dry, took the carpet out. We had to throw it away. And then with these fans, dried the basement out over 3 days. So then it was completely dry and we dealt with our sump pump situation. And it's just been like a 3-month ordeal. So it's finally done. So
now
have you ever been,
bookshelves?
Have you ever been to Denver?
I think about this, and if I had a flood here, I've got maybe 2 inches of board before I get to the books.
Yeah,
that would rot the particle board.
Yes,
all these bookshelves would have to be thrown out.
And we just have IKEA shelves in the basement too, and they did get a little warped on the bottom, but they're fine. I think they'll make it. So
okay,
yeah, for now. And hopefully it'll never happen again.
But
have you ever been to Denver, Greg?
Yes.
Yeah, I've been there a couple times too. I like it, I've been to Durango 2-3 times, and even Colorado Springs back in the day. But
yeah,
I spent a week in Denver just about like 5-6 years ago. And went all around the Mint, and they have what's that? The main drag with you can take the train for free up and down that.
Oh yeah, the 16th Street Mall.
Yeah, you have the same trains that Portland does. I was talking to one of the Portland had them first, but yours are better because you have a thing on them for wheelchairs.
Yeah,
like we just have a ramp. We just have the ramp, but you can have like an extra lift and all that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Denver's definitely changing. It's changing a lot. There's just a lot more apartment. They're building millions of apartments, and it's very expensive now. Changing a lot.
Yeah, I enjoy Denver though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been to Denver. My wife used to travel for her job a lot more than she does now, and she had a conference out in Denver. And when she had conferences like this, I used to go visit her, Friday night, conference would end on Friday afternoon. I'd fly out and join her, and we'd spend a weekend in Denver. And we went to like Garden of the Gods.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was interesting because
it was a great museum too.
What's like? Is it Colorado Springs right next to Denver?
Yeah. It's about 60 miles south.
Maybe that because she grew up. There's a big military base.
Yes.
Because her father was in the military, and she used to be stationed there. And she drove me around I lived in that house as a kid.
Yeah.
Like it's a lot smaller than I remember.
Mm-hmm.
It was really fun.
Yeah. Cool.
Let me catch up with some comments here. Hello, Courtney.
Hello.
Hey, Courtney.
Real estate is nuts now.
Yeah.
You don't want to be buying right now unless you really,
for sure,
really have to. He's bookish. I definitely get less done now than I'm retired. Oh, Brian.
Yeah.
That's what I call the farting around syndrome.
Yeah.
Bookings and books. Elizabeth. In answer to a much earlier question, the World War II movie in which Frank Sinatra played was Van Ryan's Express. It is not a very good movie.
Yeah. All blue eyes.
Zach, yes, fewer things get done because I have all day. Tangible. I saw your video, Greg, and yours where you were born. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, you put a lot of time into that.
Tangible. I lose subs every time I post. I gain 2 or 3 and then lose at least one every week.
That happens to me too.
It
Me
is.
three.
You know, the part of it is like people subscribe and then they drop out of, and then there's this in YouTube. You sign up if you inactive for 6 months, they send you a warning. And then a couple other, if you continue to be active, they just delete your account.
Oh, really? Oh,
Well,
wow.
they give you warnings because
Yeah.
the idea is if you're not longer using it, your dead account, and you would lose those subscribers. So that's part of it. But yeah, it's just interesting about losing stuff. We talked about that earlier. Hey, Courtney, sorry, I was doing the dishes. How are you? I find it funny people unsubscribe because you don't watch your content often, but they want you to own subscriptions to grow, their own subscriptions to grow. Yeah. You know, I rarely ever unsubscribe after I subscribe to someone, even if I don't watch them very much. Hold on. Because sometimes I do. Sometimes an interesting video will pop up and say, I'll try that one.
Right.
That's because you're a good-kinded gentleman, Greg. I unsubscribe. I don't know, periodically, you know, I really do. If somebody's not commenting on my stuff, and it's like.
Here's Zach. It's interesting that you did the 60 books in 60 years because I started doing the same thing from 1961 forward with the best. American novels published that each year. That would be a good video.
It would be.
And you'll get lots of comments because one of the commenters to mine said I probably pissed off Steve Donahue a lot because I mentioned a lot of books that he hates.
Oh.
I know he hates Stephen King. He hates McCarthy. I didn't know he hated Iris Murdoch. But apparently he hates Iris Murdoch, Martin Amis.
I am convinced that I don't have 1,000 subscribers in 5 years because I got into an argument with Steve Donahue my first week on BookTube.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
It's probably not true. It's just my personality, of course, you know. If people like you, they like you. If not, not. But I did get in a big argument with them, and it just went downhill after that.
So here's Brian. I sometimes know when a video is going to cause some unsubscribers.
I bet, Brian.
Brian?
Oh, yeah, Brian.
I know your content, and I read it going, I'm going to lose subscribers over that one. But the thing is, those are the kind of subscribers that I'm okay losing because when he does, he's talking something about that's really passionate to him.
Right. And really important things.
It's really important to him. And I usually agree with him. Not 100%, but usually, but not enough to ever unsubscribe to it.
Right.
But I know I am planning a series of 4 videos that I don't know what's going to happen because it's going to make some people uncomfortable.
Wow. And that's not the smutty one.
No, that's not the smutty. This is I've touched on subjects because it's talking about what's harmful to the book community, in my opinion.
Oh, that'll be interesting.
And the first one I can tell you is no one's going to disagree with the first one. It's the banning of books.
Right.
I am just.
That's terrible.
I am totally opposed to banning any kind of book for whatever reason.
Right.
I mean, even the point with like, should you ban Mein Kampf?
No,
you
shouldn't ban it. You just don't have to read it.
You don't have to read it. Then the other one is the Turner Diaries.
Right.
You know the Turner Diaries are, right?
Yeah.
I've never read it.
I don't.
But The Turner
I don't.
Diaries, you don't know what it is? Alan?
Shoot. No, I don't. But no, you're going in and out now on mine.
Okay, Turner Diaries
You
is
can
a
tell me
novel.
later.
No, it's interesting. Written by a white supremacist. And it's published by
Yeah.
a white supremacist organization to support the
Right.
idea of white supremacy. And the first time I really encountered it was in the 90s. I was working at Borders Books, and my job was to order books for customers that weren't carried in the store. And that was like a full-time job. And I noticed someone ordered the Turner Diaries.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of went up to the manager. I said, "Do you want me to order this book?" The guy says, "I'll get back in touch with you." And a few days later, he says, "Order it."
Yeah.
Yeah, I've worked at bookstores too. Yeah, if anything that's publishable and it's available, you're
but
kind of obligated to carry it.
You're not obligated to carry it. But the idea is it should be available to anyone who wants it, even if you disagree with the content.
For sure, because who's making the decisions? Everyone's going to have different opinions. So, yeah, you can't censor.
Right.
Now, the one thing I did, which was not really naughty, but it came in a package, and it came with bumper stickers like white power. And you know something? I just left that alone and just gave him the book. So didn't give him everything that he asked for.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go. So my video is gonna be four topics like that. It's gonna get into other topics that, if I ever do these, I think some people are gonna really disagree with. And if you see my videos, you probably know one or two of the subjects that I'll touch on. Saying hi to Courtney. That I still hate Mondays. Yes, hubby's grumpy and it's hot outside. Hubby doesn't want to do anything. Hubby's here's Courtney.
Hubby's tired.
Video games gives me time to read.
Hubby want enchiladas.
My husband's playing a video game right now. That's why I'm here. Well, my wife is playing pickleball, but she doesn't mind. I said we're both introverts, so we can sit in the same room and be quiet for hours and be totally happy. Zach, you can write the page with Kobo. You can write on the page with Kobo, so I can see Kindle updating to it soon. Okay.
Yeah, with the little thing.
Zach, I had the same experience with the calligraphy font. It was clearer. Bad. If something would ever happen to me, all my books are going to her niece. That's a very thoughtful, Greg. I would die by taking some of your books. If I can do that. William, It Can't Happen Here by Sinclair Lewis has a lot of contemporary references. I imagine a lot of editing weeks prior to publishing. A vivid window into 1934.
I bet that's good. I bet that's really good.
Actually, I read that before 2016 and all the political issues. It's like we have not changed that much. That there's still this core belief that, again, this is where if you're doing a video, you might lose subscribers because you're talking about politics. And some people are okay with getting rid of democracy or real democracy.
Right. Well, quite a few people. Yes.
Yeah. But no, it actually is a really pretty good book.
I've only read one Sinclair Lewis, and that was Main Street. And that was about a doctor and his wife in a rural town. And it was so good. It was really good.
I remember I've read two books by him. I thought one was Babbitt. And the other was It Can't Happen Here. I've also read Elmore Gantry. But now that you think about the doctor in a small town, there's a scene that just coming like, I remember talking about his sleeping porch and
Yeah.
So it might have been Main Street that I read instead of Babbitt.
Yeah, Main Street was mostly about the wife though, and her the way she fit into society, or really didn't fit into the small town where her husband was practicing. It was very good.
He was a very, I mean, he's fallen out of favor. You know, people don't talk about him a lot, except for like It Can't Happen Here. But he was the first American to win the Nobel Prize in Literature.
Wow.
Bad as red. Nope. I had no clue. Very cool. I love the Bengals. Brian, 13 people watching right now and only 7 likes. Thumbs up, people. Thank you, Brian.
Oh, God.
Zap, we had...
Oh, Zap, are you from Denver?
We had more rain in Denver in the last 5 months than in the last 10 years.
Yes, Zap, that's what happened to us.
Is that my wife? My wife was telling me a story.
Yeah.
Where it rained like 7 inches in 45 minutes.
Yeah. It was over the course of a couple of days, but yes, we've had so much rain. It's crazy. Yes, we never get that much rain, or even in a whole year, we don't get that much moisture. So just another anomaly, right?
Were you ever having problems with droughts out in Denver?
Yes. Right now, the whole state does not have any drought, but yes, we have extreme drought most of the time. So that's part of our problem, is that the ground is hard, and then all this rain came, and then the ground is saturated. And now everything's so green, but when it does get super hot, it'll all get brown, and then fires, and just this crazy cycle.
So do you have a lot of wildfires in Denver?
In the area, not in Denver, but yes, in the mountains around. We had a huge one a year ago that near Boulder that wiped out 1,000 homes in one day.
Wow.
Yeah, wow. It was so scary.
Yeah, because when I lived in Washington, you know, there were a couple of wildfires.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I mentioned is that we had a wildfire really near where I lived.
Scary.
If you walk down the hill or block, you could see the fire.
Wow.
And we had an evacuation. And at the time, we had a dog, 3 cats, and a rabbit.
Jeez.
And it's like, the police coming by, go.
Yeah. Don't wait around. Don't wait.
But, you know, we were actually talking to our next door neighbor. We were leaving, and they said, you know, their son's a firefighter. He says, firefighter, your risk to this area is actually quite minimal. They're just being super cautious.
Yeah.
But no, you see fire down the street.
Yeah,
and then you can basically drive down, 2 minutes and see a house that's burned down.
Yeah, if the wind shifts, I mean, that's it.
Yeah.
So
6 months warning. I still get used to my old account to watch non-bookish stuff. Those old videos are part of my journey on YouTube. Yeah, I think I'm a little behind on getting comments. All right, Brian. Sorry to see you go. Have a good night. Goodbye, Elizabeth. Chris, Paradise Lost is incomprehensible without annotations unless you've memorized the Bible, which basically Milton did. The editor's annotations, in my opinion, almost exceed Milton's own text. I can believe that. Zap. But Steve Surly Houseboy loves King and Cormac McCarthy. Is that your cat?
Yes. Sorry, yes, that's Clementine. Hi.
She's allowed to pop up. If she wants to pop up.
Oh, wow, she's vocal.
Yeah, she is. She's very chatty.
Wow.
Come here.
So tempting to get a cat, too. I have to pay an extra $300.
A month?
No, just
a
initially.
deposit?
Yeah.
Hi.
Well, Alan, as I said it before, pets are a big responsibility. And you have
Yeah,
to
I
make
know.
sure that you're, I mean,
I'm already keeping these 2 plants alive, Greg. Next, after I keep the plants alive, I'm gonna get like an animal, maybe a fish, and then I keep that alive. And then I get a girlfriend. See if I can keep that alive.
Chris, yeah, better to reign in hell and serve in heaven.
Yes.
That's one of his most famous quotes. But I also blame Star Trek for its popularity.
Yeah, there's another. Oh man, what's that one Milton quote about? Oh shoot, now I'm gonna forget it. Never mind. Something about stardust or tripping. No, it's tripping the light. Fantastic. I always thought that was Tennessee Williams, but it's Milton. Tripping the light. Fantastic.
Almighty Om, I have audio and ebooks across 6 platforms. The digital verse is not friendly to book thieves. Well, you know, as I mentioned,
Wow.
I started with Microsoft Reader back before 2008, and I bought a number of those from Amazon. And what's interesting is when you ordered an ebook way back then, you click order, and they say, we'll send you a link to your ebook within 24 hours.
Oh, that's right.
So you often have to wait till the next day to get your ebook.
I forgot about that.
And then all those that I bought have disappeared.
Yeah. The platform, they just didn't live. The technology didn't last.
No. I mean, some people worry about like the Kindle platform disappearing. And I guess that's technically possible, but
yeah, but I mean, Kindle files are just essentially little websites, right? So they're HTML.
They're Mobi files.
Right, but they're HTML. I mean, they're written in code that could easily be parsed into something else, I think.
Yes, it's actually very simple.
Yes.
I mean, they have DRM, and it's not legal to break DRM, but
yeah,
it's actually real simple to do it. And
right. So if the platform ever went away and you were smart enough to keep a backup somewhere, then you should be able to access them somehow.
Yeah. Okay, Zap. Yes, from Denver. You can thank Canada and the smoke from us for the rain.
Yep. Thanks. Thanks,
yes,
Canada.
Thanks, Al. Although I don't really get it down.
Yeah, thanks, Al. Thanks, Canada.
Mostly arson, it seems. So you think those fires in Canada were from arson?
I don't know about that.
I don't know either. I have not heard anything about the origin. I told my niece who was visiting from Oregon in June that she brought the rainy weather with her.
Yeah.
Tangible. It would suck to have to wait for an ebook. We impatient these days. Yeah, I mean, it was a whole different way back in the early days. Almighty, I read Mobi files off the platform. Yeah, there's a number of ways to read Mobi files, although I think Amazon's still the only one that's using that at this point. It's all gone to EPUB. William, the only ebook I've read, at least on my screen, is the free PDF of the Battle of the Dorking. Excuse me. 80% yes, RCMP are investigating.
Wow.
A Royal Canadian Mounted Police. I guess he's investigating that it's 80% likely that it's arson. Okay, we are at the end of comments. So any other topics that you'd like to bring up, Sonya?
No, I don't think so. I've really enjoyed hanging out with you guys.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks.
And
It was
Alan,
fun.
what about you?
Just Garbagus, shout out for hashtag Faulkner in August 2023. We'll be starting that. And I'm just looking forward to seeing my dad, of course, and then it's going to be Christmas this weekend when I get my books.
Oh yeah, I bet.
Yeah, I'll be videotaping that, of course. You know me. But
So how long are you staying for?
just till Monday, we're gonna go to Cannon Beach. Cannon Beach, they found a. Do you know? Remember Cannon Beach, Greg? Have you been there?
I've been to Cannon Beach.
And
Yeah.
so you know Haystack Rock. They had a cougar was on Haystack Rock Friday. A cougar.
Really? Cougar.
Yeah, and then they chased it away, and they haven't caught it yet. So the beach has been closed all day.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Huh.
There's a really good crab, like a Dungeness crab place that we want to eat there. So.
Well, enjoy. That sounds fun.
Yeah, well, Greg just had a neighborhood crab.
Brought some crabs, and I think she was actually kind of miffed because she bought a lot of crabs, and I ate 2.5 crabs, like one crabs and one blue crab, and then I was done.
Oh, nice.
And I guess crab eating people tend to stuff themselves with crab. Just
Oh,
Jeez,
so,
crab eating people.
Crabs. I said yes, I like crabs, but I don't.
I resemble that remark.
I don't overeat.
Right.
Apparently, people who really like crabs overeat.
I think you can overdo it. I don't know.
Yeah, it looked good though, Greg. Corn on the cob, and that looked like a really nice spread.
It was really good. We have a very good neighborhood. I mean, part of it is being in a 55+ neighborhood is like most people are retired, and
it sounds like it.
Someone's doing something,
really
they invite you over, and pretty good.
Yeah, I think you looked out, Greg. It sounds really nice.
It's pretty good. Yeah, I just wish there were bookstores here because there's no
bookstores
where I live.
Like within an hour, huh?
Yeah. Got to drive up to DC, which is about an hour, and then parking is not easy in Washington DC.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Denver metro area has many libraries. You can get a card in each one, and then have access to hundreds of thousands of ebooks and audio.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I use my Libby app all the time.
Well, in Washington, near Seattle, I belong to King County Library, which is one of the top 10 best libraries in the country. So they've never revoked my privilege, so I can still check out ebooks and audiobooks, and I don't know if the library is all that concerned. Kicking out people who have left the area.
Yeah, as long as you keep it active, it seems to me like it will go on, perpetually.
Well, when I signed up for my new library card here in Virginia, and our library here in Virginia is not the best, I said, "Do I have to stop using my old library?" She goes, "No."
Oh, yeah. So you're not doing anything.
Eventually, they may do house cleaning, but keep it going.
You can send Washington a little donation every Christmas.
Actually, I think King County lets you pay $50 a year to be a member.
To support it. Yeah.
Right.
That's nice.
And the same is true with a library in Brooklyn.
Mm-hmm.
Supposedly, MJ talks about that one a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm cool with my libraries in Portland.
Portland has a very good library, I'm sure. Back to Libby. I just found Libby. I was shocked at how many holes on the books. I thought people stopped reading. Well, here's the thing. It's like I was looking at a couple books that have like 13 holes, which is pretty large. And they say it's like a couple weeks, to get it. But then you're in a metro area that has 1 million people, and only like 13 people want to read the book. Now,
Sure, when you think about it like that, yeah.
There may be more people who actually want to read it, and they go, "I don't want to be on a waiting list that long."
Yeah.
And wait until the book is less popular. I don't know. I know I'm like that. It's like when I see a waiting list that long, I go, "Nope, I'll just buy it."
Yeah, they make it so easy that you can search for your wish list and see what's available, and you can just grab it. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Well, I'm getting ready to eat my buffalo chicken wings.
All right. It was good to see you guys.
Yeah, and then I'm just
Sonya.
cleaning up the comments. Yeah. Oh, Courtney just got her Libby hole. Good for you. Okay. Well, Sonya, we've been here 1 hour and 30 minutes.
All right.
And I'd like to thank you so much for being a guest.
You were welcome. Thank you so much for having me.
We enjoy it.
That's great.
Okay.
Look forward to your library tour video, Sonya.
Yeah, I'll have to get on that.
Okay, great.
Okay. Thank you.
Have a great night.
Everyone.
Bye-bye.
Good night.